And sometimes you do more ground game, sometimes you strike and you get the right deal at scale.
Yeah,
Walk
no,
me through that process of building out the team, some of the key hires you've made, increasing the deal flow pipeline, and just kind of the smaller stuff and all the 63 wins that you guys have had over the last 18 months, which is great.
yeah, no, there's a few key elements that went into that. Yeah, I think first is you got to have the capital to put to work. We have, I think we've shown the market we're a very reliable buyer. If we bid on something, we show up there to close. And so having the backing NGP across two funds has been very helpful. Plenty of capital to put to work, so we haven't had to worry about that. The next key ingredient has been building out the right team. At the start, it was just me and Clint, and then we brought on Jeff Stewart to run our engineering group. And then I think if you roll forward to today, we're at something like 23 folks on the team, so grown quite a bit, and that's pretty evenly split between business development and land who are out there finding deals, getting them closed, our engineering group that's doing all the underwriting, and then our asset management team that manages the assets and does all the accounting when we bring those in house. So just as we've grown, we've tried to keep pace with the assets we have under management and the capital we're trying to deploy with the right team there. Tried to marry that up with technology. This is a low hit rate, high volume game, so there's a lot of work, a lot of deals to review, and you don't win all of them. So trying to find ways to make that as efficient as possible so we don't burn out the team. And so when a broker brings us a deal, we can be very responsive. But we've made quite an investment in technology such that we have a workflow to where if broker sends us a deal in the morning, if we've got the right set of data to work with, we can get them an answer that afternoon on what we think that's worth and what we're prepared to pay. I think you made a comment that there's some synergies from running a ground game as well as looking at marketed deals. I think we improve our comfort in the basins, improve our data set by being active in both parts of the market, and that's certainly paid dividends. As we've built up our deal count over the last 3 years here, I just think we're much better at underwriting, much better at understanding where the market is and kind of what you have to pay to get something done. So that's been a key element of success as well. And we try to be active in kind of the three segments of the market that I see. One is our ground game where we're going to direct to mineral owners. The next would be working with brokers who are talking to mineral owners and bringing us opportunity. And then the next would be in the A&D market where we're working with the banks on the larger opportunities. And what I've found over the last 3 years is on any given month, one of those seems to be working well and generating a lot of opportunity, and the other two may be kind of quiet. But it always cycles. So we want to be active in all three because there's opportunity to capture in each of them.
Yeah, no, talking to Peter and the others at NGP about the mineral space, they've said it's so hot and cold in minerals. You have to have a ground game at all times. It's just important if you want to have a continual deployment of capital. And so you look back at NGP strategy since inception, it's always had a ground game heavy element to it, right? And then opportunistically you take down larger deals when the time is right. So the ground game, you've mentioned Eagle Ford, Permian, Rockies is kind of your main areas. You did a little bit in the Haynesville. Is it fair to say the ground game is touching all those basins, or is it primarily Permian given just the amount of deals and inventory and